Assalamu alaikum class. In this video we are going to start exercise 1.6 in which we are going to discuss some additional techniques to solve equations. The name of exercise is additional equation solving techniques. So we are going to discuss some other techniques to solve equations. So up till now we have discussed that how we could solve a linear equation and how we can solve a quadratic equation. So in this exercise we are going to discuss that if it is possible to transform a given equation into the form of quadratic equation so that we can easily solve it. So basically you can say that in exercise 1.6 we are going to discuss that either or which type of equations are reducible to the quadratic form, and then how we can solve those equations. So the first technique is going to be the solving equations involving the radical signs. So here you can see that we are going to solve match problem 1. You can go through example 1 which is already solved in the book. So here we have the match problem. X minus 5 is equal to square root of x minus 3. So here you can see that this radical sign is involving over here, and how we can solve such equations in which at least one radical sign is appearing. Simply we are going to take square on both sides so that this square root could be cancelled out with the whole power 2. So by taking square on both sides, this is going to be x square minus 10x plus 25 by using the formula a minus b whole square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. And obviously for square, for example, if I have x square root whole square, this square and square root will be cancelled out because square root means the power 1 by 2. X raised to the power 1 by 2 and whole power 2 could be cancelled out, and we are left with the power x. So this is how, if we have square root with whole square, then we can simply write down the radicand over here. So here we have the equation x square minus 10x plus 25 is equal to x minus 3. Now you can see that this is a type of quadratic equation, and now we will shift it into the standard form. That is, we must have 0 on the right hand side. So here you can see x square. By shifting this x on left hand side, we will get minus 11x plus this 3 is going to be add over here, so we are going to have plus 28. Now we are having a quadratic equation. You can see that we have transformed the equation with radical sign into the form of quadratic equation, and now we can solve this quadratic equation by factorization, by completing square method, or by a quadratic formula. So it's totally up to you that which method you want to use to solve this quadratic equation. Once we solve this quadratic equation, here I have used the factorization method. So here the solution is x is equal to 7 and x is equal to 4, but make sure that the given equation was not a quadratic equation. We made this equation quadratic by our choice. So it means that we have to check that either this equation is going to be satisfied for the both values, or for it any one value, or for no value, because the quadratic equation is going to have two roots, but this linear equation must have a single root. So what we are going to say, that we are going to discuss that the quadratic equation that we have transformed and we got the solution, either these are the solutions of original equation as well or not. And how we can check this, we will simply put x is equal to 7 and x is equal to 4 respectively in the given equation or the original equation, that was x minus 5 is equal to square root of x minus 3. So putting x is equal to 7, left hand side is going to be 2 and right hand side is going to be again 2. So it means that x is equal to 7 could be a solution. But for the other side, if I put x is equal to 4, what I'm going to have, I will have x minus 5, that is minus 1, for x is equal to 4, and 4 minus 3, 1 is square root of 1, which is equal to 1. But obviously minus 1 is not equal to plus 1, so it means that x is equal to 4 cannot be a solution of given equation, and x is equal to 7 is the only solution for given equation. Here you can see that you can check the solution by any one of the methods, like you can solve left hand side and right hand side separately, or you can simply put the values in the given equation too. Here we have question number 14 from exercise. Square root of x minus 4 is equal to 2. Simply we will take square on both sides. X minus 4 will be equal to 4 and this 4 will be added over here and we will get x is equal to it, which is a simple linear equation. And for x is equal to 8 we will check the solution too and we get the same equation or the satisfied equation. That's why x is equal to 8 is the solution set for this. Then we have question number 16. Square root of 4 minus x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now you can see that we can take square on both sides, but before that we have to shift this minus 5 on the right hand side. Why it is important to shift minus 5 on the right hand side? Because if I take square on both sides of the equation in this form, what I'm going to have, 0 square is equal to 0, so the right hand side will be 0. But on this we have to apply the formula a plus b whole square, and in that case we are going to have 4 minus x, that is a square, plus b square, that is 25, minus 2ab, that is 10 times of square root of 4 minus x. That is, the square root cannot be disappear completely in such case. Therefore we will try to shift the any other constant on the right hand side so that we have only square root expression on one side of the equation, so that when we take the square, this square root could be cancelled out with the whole power 2. Now squaring on both sides we will get 4 minus x is equal to 25, x is equal to minus 21. But when I'm going to put x is equal to minus 21 in my original equation, it is not going to satisfy. Here you can see that 5 is not equal to minus 5. It means no solution is possible for this equation to be satisfied. Next we have question number 18. Square root of 4y plus 1 is equal to 5 minus y. You can simply take square on both sides because on one side we have only radicand expression. There is no other term added or subtracted over here. So squaring both sides we will get 4y plus 1. For this we will apply the formula a minus b whole square, and here is the result of this, that is a square plus b square minus 2ab. Now we are having a quadratic equation, and how I have constructed this, I have shifted 4y on this side and 1 in this side, and hence we get y square minus 14y plus 24 is equal to 0. Now we are having a quadratic equation that could be solved by using factorization or by completing square method or by quadratic formula, but I have chosen factorization here. Y is equal to 2 and 12. Now obviously we have to check the solution as well. Now for y is equal to 2, equation is satisfied, but for y is equal to 12 the equation is not satisfied over here. That's why only y is equal to 2 is the solution for the given equation. Here we have question number 20. Again the same technique, that we cannot apply square on both sides because one additional term is added over here. So we have to shift this term on the other side so that we could have only square root expression on one side. So we will have square root of 2 omega minus 3 is equal to 1 minus omega. Now squaring both sides we will get this equation. Obviously I have applied the formula a minus b whole square over here, and here is a quadratic equation that could be solved by factorization, by completing square, or by quadratic formula. So I have simply performed factorization. So I will get y minus 2 whole square is equal to 0. That is a double solution or the repeated solution for this equation, and for y x omega is equal to 2 the equation is not satisfied. You can see that's why we will say that this equation has no solution. Next we have the equations involving absolute value. So how we can deal with such equations in which absolute value is involving. So for this we will have match problem 2. You can go through example 2 by yourself. So the equation is mod of 3x minus 4, or absolute value 3x minus 4 is equal to x plus 4. Simply we will take square on both sides because we know that mod of x whole square will be equal to x square, because mod of x itself is a non-negative number and x square is also a non-negative number. So I can justify it as well, that if I take x is equal to 2, it means I must have 2, or x is equal to minus 2, so that it could be more simplified for you. Minus 2 whole mod whole square is equal to minus 2 whole square. So mod or absolute value is going to make this negative to be a positive number, so it will be equal to 2 whole power 2, and minus 2 square is a positive number, that is 4, and 2 square is equal to 4, so 4 is equal to 4. So that's why absolute value x square is equal to x square. So we will take square on both sides, apply the formula a minus b whole square and a plus b whole square over here. Simplified the equation, we get 8x square minus 32x is equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation, and we can solve it with the help of simple factorization, or you can apply the quadratic formula as well, but in this case c will be 0 as no constant term is appearing over here. So here we get the two solutions, x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 4. Again we have to check the answer for the original equation. X is equal to 0 and 4 both are satisfying the equation, so it means that both are the solutions of the given equation. Next we have question number 22. Absolute value 2x plus 2 is equal to 5 minus x. On the similar pattern, we are going to take square on both sides, applying the formula. We get the equation 3x square plus 18x minus 21 is equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation that you can solve by using completing square method, quadratic formula, or factorization. I have performed factorization and got the two solutions, x is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 7. And now when I'm going to check it, both are satisfying the equation, so both could be the solution of the given equation. Next we have question number 24. It is always not necessary that both solutions are going to satisfy. This is an exceptional case that both are satisfying the equation, but it is not always necessary. So here we have question number 24. Absolute value x plus 7 is equal to 1 minus 2x. Again squaring both sides and applying the formula of perfect squares, that is a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square. We get the equation 3x square minus 18x plus 48 is equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation that could be solved by factorization, completing square method, or by quadratic formula. So here I have performed factorization and I got the two solutions, x is equal to 8 and minus 2. And when I'm going to check it for the original equation, x is equal to 8 is not satisfying the equation because one side is positive 15 and the other side is negative times of 15, which are the two different numbers. So x is equal to 8 is not a solution, but x is equal to minus 2 is going to satisfy the equation. That's why x is equal to minus 2 is the only solution for the given equation. So in this exercise 1.6 we have discussed that how we can shift a given equation into the form of quadratic equation by simply taking square on both sides, and I can shift any radical sign or in any equation with involving the radical sign, or right now I can deal with any equation which is having absolute value. But what about the other type of equations that are reducible to the quadratic form, or the equations that are in the form of quadratic equation? So here we have match problem 3 to discuss. You can go through example 3. Here we have x raised to the power 1 by 2 minus 5x power 1 by 4 plus 6 is equal to 0. In such equations, the first trick that you could apply, simply you can see that if any one of the term is obtaining by taking whole power 2, that is we are going to deal with the variables only. So if I take x is equal to 1 by 2 or u is equal to x raised to the power 1 by 2, and when I'm going to take square, it is going to be x power 1. It means this is not a perfect substitution for it, because it will not be a quadratic equation and it will be useless. So what we can do, we can take x is raised to the power u is equal to x power 1 by 4, so that when I take square on both sides, it is going to be x power 1 by 2. So here you can see that if we are dealing with the powers, so any one of the powers must be a multiple of 2 with the other one, so that, or it could be replaced with the power 2, so that we can shift the given equation into the form of quadratic equation. But it is not always necessary that any type of equation could be transformed in quadratic equation, but in this case it is possible. Taking u x raised to the power 1 by 4, taking square on both sides, I will get x power 1 by 2. So inserting these values, this equation is going to be u square. Here I have u plus 6 as it is. Now we are having a quadratic equation that you can solve by any one of the method, and I got the solution u is equal to 3 and u is equal to 2. And by putting u is equal to 3, it means x power 1 u is equal to 2, that is x power 1 by 4 is equal to 2. Now taking whole power 4 on both sides, x is 16. Similarly, x is equal to 81 for u is equal to 3. So the solution is x is equal to 16 and x is equal to 81. Next we have match problem 4, 2x power 4 plus 3x square minus 4 is equal to 0, which is a simple thing to shift into the quadratic form. Let's simply take u to be x square, and then u square will be x power 4, because 4 could be generated by multiplying 2 with 2. So above equation becomes 2u square plus 3u minus 4 is equal to 0. Now I have used quadratic formula for it because its factorization is not possible. So by applying the quadratic formula with a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to minus 4, I got the solution. U is equal to minus 3 plus minus square root of 41 by 4, but this is the solution for u, not for x. So for this I'm going to put the value of u over here, that was x square. Now taking the square root on both sides, I will get the value for x. Next we have question number 28, 4 by 7 minus 3 by x plus 6 by x square is equal to 0. So the first thing that we can do, we can multiply x square on both sides of the equation so that we are able to shift this fractional form into the simple linear form. So by multiplying x square on both sides, I will get 4 by 7 x square minus 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now I'm going to multiply 7 on the both sides of the equation so that we can remove this denominator. So by multiplying 7, I will get 4x square minus 21x plus 42 is equal to, because 6 into 7 is 42, plus 42 is equal to 0. Now I have applied the quadratic formula using a 4, b minus 21, and c 42, and here is the solution for this. So next, because in this case I have not performed any substitution, so it is a simple question. We are not going to put the value of the variable again. Next we have question number 30, 7x power minus 1 plus 3x power minus 1 by 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. Now what we can do, we can take x power minus 1 by 2, so that when I take square on both sides, this 2 and 2 will be cancelled out and we are left with x power minus 1. So that's why I have taken u to be x power minus 1 by 2, u square is x power minus 1. Now inserting the values, the equation is going to be 7u square plus 3u plus 2 is equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation and could be solved by using quadratic formula. Factorization is not possible in this case, and here is the solution for u, but this is not the answer because this is the value of u, not x. So for this again we will put the value of u, that is x raised to the power minus 1 by 2, and for this I will take whole power minus 2 on both sides and I will get the solution. Next we have question number 32, 3x power 3 by 2 minus 5x power 1 by 2 plus 12 is equal to 0. Simply if I take u is equal to x power 1 by 2, then u square will be x, but u cube is equal to x power 3 by 2. So I will put u cube over here, u over here, which is not a quadratic equation but a cubic equation. So it is not always necessary that we can transform any type of equation in the form of quadratic equation.